Hello and welcome. In today's video, I'm going to show you my latest build, which is the 2001 Ford Excursion V10. This Ford Excursion has been built to a level 3 removable camper, but it still retains normal SUV functionality. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the build levels that I offer, visit www.horizoncamperbuilds.com to learn more. So without further ado, let's get started on that tour. All right, folks, here we go. I've actually made a video, an overview of this vehicle, basically talking about what it is and all the specifications that it has. So if you would like to learn more about the Ford Excursion itself, feel free to watch my last video on this rig to learn more. But let me just kind of give you a quick overview of what it is. It is a 2001 Ford Excursion V10. It has only 155,000 miles and it is a four-wheel drive. So what I'd like to do now is start the tour with the exterior upgrades that I did as part of the level 3 camper build. The very first thing that I did is I actually went ahead and upgraded the tires. What it had on there was highway 31-inch tires, but now it has all-terrain 33-inch tires. The suspension is still stock, but this Ford Excursion actually has pretty good ground clearance, and the larger tires give it about 1.5 inches of height. So you could see they fit perfectly and absolutely no rubbing at all while driving. Let me show you some more exterior upgrades on the roof, starting with this solar panel. This is a fixed solar panel that allows you to charge the deep cycle battery as well as the engine battery. I'll explain that later in the video. We also have a very large 4x8 roof basket, very usable, as well as a 6x8 awning. Okay, moving towards the back to show you what was done back here. You see there is a swing out arm tire carrier. I had to relocate the spare tire, which was located inside in the back, because I had to do a build back there. The spare tire was occupying a lot of space, a lot of usable space. So I had a choice whether to relocate it up on the roof basket or actually get a really nice swing out arm. And I went with the latter choice. Since this is a very, very heavy tire, it would be very difficult to get it off the roof basket. So now we have a Wilco off-road swing out arm tire carrier, which attaches to the rear hitch, but it actually does have a hitch that you could use for towing as well. So even with this tire carrier being on there, you could still tow with this vehicle. These are very expensive, but very well built. Absolutely no rattling whatsoever with this tire carrier. So that's pretty much what was done to the exterior for this level 3 build. Let's go ahead and move on to the interior to show you the actual build. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and open the rear door to show you that we still have the bench seat still in place inside this SUV, but the removable level 3 build is actually located back here in place of the third row seat, which actually does come with this vehicle, but this is a removable build. Should you want to reinstall the third row seat to transport more passengers, you could take out the build and put the third row seat back. But as it sits right now, this is a 5-passenger SUV. So this is not only just a camper, but also you could use it every day as a normal SUV. What I'd like to do now is go ahead and fold down the second row bench seat to set up the level 3 build and show you what that looks like. Okay, so I went ahead and folded the second row bench seat. I also set up the curtain. This is a removable curtain rod with 2 curtains. And now it is separating the driving area from the sleeping or lounging area. We do have these darkened mesh sleeves They allow you to open the window at night to keep the bugs out, but also let air in when you're sleeping if you need some ventilation. And then notice on the rear glass windows, we do have removable reflectix. So all those upgrades, the reflectix, the mesh sleeves, and the curtain will give you excellent privacy should you want to do some stealth camping if you are on a long road trip. Now notice that there's absolutely no visibility towards the rear window, while you're driving, because we have the reflectix, but also we have these two mattresses up. I have installed a backup camera. You could see the monitor, it's on right now, so that will act as your rear view mirror, because you could see you can't see anything through the actual rear view mirror. So before I go ahead and lay out the mattresses, let me show you the battery compartment and the electric capability of this build. So this being a level 3 build, it does come with battery and solar capabilities. The battery compartment is located right here. And you see we have a 100 amp hour lithium ion battery, all the electrical connections, fuse box. We have a 1100 watt inverter that allows you to plug in some home electrical items. And then we also have a smart isolator. Now the battery could be charged one of 3 ways. The first way to charge the battery is actually when you turn on the vehicle. We do have this smart isolator that establishes the connection between the front battery and this battery, allowing the engine alternator to also charge this battery. So if you're on a road trip and you get there at night with no sun, this battery would be full and ready to power all the outlets as well as the fridge that's located back there. I'll show you that in just a second. The second way of charging this battery is through a fixed solar panel that is installed on the roof. It's a 100 watt solar panel. As long as the sun is available, that battery is always going to be topped off. But not only will this battery be topped off, the engine battery will also be topped off thanks to this smart isolator, because when the voltage is high, both batteries are connected and can be charged by the fixed solar panel or the engine's alternator. The solar controller for the fixed solar panel is actually located back there. I'll show you that in just a moment. The third way of charging this battery is through this solar controller and a portable solar panels. With this build comes a portable 220 watt solar panels. So if you want to park this rig in the shade, you also do get a 25-foot extension cord. You plug it into this solar controller, you move the solar panels away from the vehicle where the sun is, and this will allow you to charge this battery as well. We also have multiple outlets. We have DC outlet, we have one on this side, 2 USB and a 12 volt. We have a similar outlet on this side as well. Down here we have the regular home outlet that is powered by the inverter. So if I go ahead and turn on the inverter, I'm able to use this outlet, which has 3 USBs as well. There is one last DC outlet that's located back there. When I show you everything through the back, I'll be able to show you where that's located. Okay, so I went ahead and flipped over the extensions. These are separate from one another, and they are resting firmly on the back of the second row bench. It's a very sturdy setup, and you can see it's nice and flat. For the 2 mattresses to lay on there, you have approximately 75 inches of length of space, but also there's more space for taller individuals to fit more comfortably. Notice the color of this build. It is a mahogany stain with clear polyurethane treatment. Very smooth. Everything has been sanded to a very silky smooth finish, as well as routed to prevent injury from bumping into the corners, and it actually complements the fake wood that's on this Excursion. This is a limited edition Excursion, so I had to match it with the color of the build. Before I go ahead and lay out the mattresses, I'd like to show you the storage that you get under the bed. On this side we have a hatch that opens up and you could see the storage that you get underneath, but also we have more storage on this side. This is a large cover which uncovers a large area that you could use as storage, but also use as a floor. So what I'd like to do now is go ahead and lay out one of the mattresses and show you how you could use this area as a floor. Okay folks, I'm inside the rig. I'm sitting on this one mattress, and I went ahead and laid it out on top of the folding extensions. As you see, I removed the large cover to use this area as a floor area for my feet to rest on. I'm about 5'9", and if I do lean back like this, I have about 1.5 inches of clearance from the ceiling. Notice the lighting in here. I went ahead and turned on all the interior lights, so there's plenty of really nice ambient lighting in here. But also I do have these removable clip-on LED lights that plug into the DC outlets. There's 2 of them, and I can locate these anywhere I want in this build. Let me go ahead and show you the storage that you get on the side. So you see we have a shelving unit, we have a small shelf on top, and a much larger shelving area on the bottom. But there is a feature to this shelving unit that allows you to use this shelf as a counter. So you could place maybe your laptop up here and do some work, or you can grab some food from the fridge, place it up here and have something to eat if you don't want to go outside. Maybe you're doing some stealth camping, maybe it's raining outside. This is the sink with the 2 7-gallon water containers. I'll set that up later in the video just to show you what that looks like. But let me just show you some more storage that you get behind where you're sitting. So there is a shelving unit right here. There's another one up here and another one over here. But also, with the design of this build, I went ahead and created this area as also some storage that you could use. This is where the spare tire was, and now you could see it is a big area to store some items. This is the solar controller that I was talking about for the fixed solar panels, and you could see even though it is a cloudy day, we are getting some sun, and the battery voltage is actually really nice and high, 13.1 volts. You know, even with all the lights on, the interior lights, the sun is always going to keep that battery nice and topped off. And that's the other DC outlet that is located back here for this fridge to plug into. So that's pretty much what it looks like as a single person. Let me go ahead and turn this into a double bed and show you what that looks like. All right, so I went ahead and laid out both of these mattresses right next to one another. Each one of these mattresses is 75 inches in length and 25 inches in width, and we do have 4-inch thick foam, so 2 people could potentially sleep here very comfortably with this setup. Let me now go ahead and show you the rear area of this build. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and open up the rear, but there is a few steps that I need to do. So let me go ahead and demonstrate. The very first thing I need to do is swing out the tire carrier out of the way. So you can see this swings out all the way to the side, just like this. The second thing I'm gonna do is open the rear glass. And then the very last thing I'm gonna do is open the lower barn doors. So now we are able to see the rear kitchen area of the build. Okay, so let me go ahead and show you what's back here, starting with this Bouge RV 30 quart 12 volt fridge. It's a very nice fridge. draws very little power, very easy to operate, and it draws very little power during the night. So the next day, the battery, the 100 amp hour lithium ion battery, would be discharged by about 30%. But because we have a fixed solar panel, as soon as that sun comes out, in about 15 to 20 minutes, you'll have a full battery again, and it will remain full as long as the sun is out, and the fridge will stay on during the day without any issues. Right next to the 12-volt fridge, we have a removable sink setup. You can see it's currently secured on the bed platform with these fasteners, but if I go ahead and unscrew those, I can take the entire sink out. I will demonstrate that in just a moment. Right below the removable sink, we have two large drawers. I'll go ahead and show you those drawers in just a moment, but before I do that, I want to show you that we have a little storage compartment for our portable solar panels. These are the 220 watt solar panels that I told you about earlier. They store nice and tidy right under the bed, and then right beneath those we have a topper for one of the drawers. I'll go ahead and demonstrate that in just a moment. We do have a 12-volt outlet from the Excursion that you could use. And also I left this area clear for the spare tire jack to be accessed as well. Let me go ahead and open these drawers to show you what they look like. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and open the left drawer first. This drawer is longer, and you could see it sits on heavy duty ball bearing locking slides. You can lock them in two positions, halfway and full extended. This drawer will have built-in toppers. Underneath the topper we have, a very large storage area. And on this side of the drawer we have a topper that opens outwards, so you could use it as a flat surface area. You see the Coleman 2-burner stove that will come with this build. You can go ahead and take the stove out and set it up right here. It's nice and away from the build, so you don't fumigate the entire interior space. So you could see this topper is very useful. Now this is exposed, which allows you to access the content of this drawer, but also we have this topper that you can go ahead and set up right here to have even more surface area on this drawer. So let me go ahead and do that. Okay, so now you see that extra topper that was provided is acting as a surface area to give you even more space to work with. You could do some prepping here, and then you could do your cooking over here. Let me go ahead and show you the other drawer. This one is smaller in length but wider, and it does also have a built-in topper that does open towards the outside as well. So now you can kind of see how much surface area you get with all these toppers, including the removable one. And then you could also access the content of this drawer. Maybe you want to have all your utensils be placed here so you can grab them, place them, and then maybe you want to close this halfway up. I mean, it is very much customizable. What I'd like to do now is go ahead and remove the sink from the bed platform, set it up outside to show you what the setup could look like with it being outside. Okay folks, so I went ahead and opened up the rear by removing the fridge as well as the sink. So now maybe if you're sleeping or lounging inside the rig, you get to enjoy the view. Not much of a view, but you get the idea. I removed the fridge and the sink and placed them on this folding table. This is a 20 by 40 folding table. You could adjust the height of it, and it folds really nice and compact. It is provided with the build, and you get to see the fridge being outside. The extension cord is actually long enough so you can keep the fridge plugged in to the rear DC outlet, so you can have it be placed outside. And now you get to see the sink fully set up. You could see the hose being connected from the sink to the gray water 7-gallon container, and this is the fresh water with the spout, and you dispense the water in here, gravity fed, and this will allow you to clean your dishes, wash your hands, also away from the build. So that concludes today's video tour of this 2001 Ford Excursion Level 3 build. What I really like about this rig is that it is a multi-use vehicle. Not only is it an everyday passenger SUV, it is a great, effective stealth camper, overland camper, as well as a towing rig. You could tow up to 11,000 pounds with this rig, which means you can maybe tow another camping trailer or a boat. There's a lot you can do with this setup. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Until next time, take care and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.